enjoying the game now. I want to play all the time, and you know, it's fun. I mean, golf now is fun for me. I look forward to playing. I look forward to practicing. I look forward to sending videos into the coaches, getting feedback, little tweaks, and just been a phenomenal experience. Love it. So my problem before I started the single plane swing was not one problem. It was many problems. I mean, it was just mainly inconsistency. You know, one day I would shoot, you know, a decent score. I may have broke 90 a couple of times, and that would have been a good day for me, but just super inconsistent. There would be days that I would hit some good shots, you know, maybe shoot a decent round, and then there'd be other days where I couldn't hit a ball. Like, I would shank everything. The shanks were the big thing for me. Pushing the ball right, shanking the ball, you know, hitting the ball fat constantly. That was annoying, like to the point where my hand would hurt. So, you know, I just wasn't a really good golfer at all. And, you know, I put time into it. I took lessons many a times, spent a lot of time at the range. You know, I would swing in my yard, you know, put two tees down in the yard and try to swing through them. Like, I would work at it, and nothing was working. So what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, and, you know, expecting a change. So for me, I was like, hey, you know, I'm on the fence, but nothing else has been working, so I'm going to go on this side of the fence, Graves Golf Academy, and just make a decision. And when you make that decision, commit to it. You know, that's the biggest thing, is you have to commit to it. And if you commit to it, you're going to see results. I promise you, no doubt about it. If you follow what they teach you, you're going to see results. It's just a matter of time. So one thing I really love about the academies, it's not just about the swing, you know, the full swing. It's about the short game as well. There's a lot of information and content in there that's been really useful. You know, how to hit out of a bunker, how to chip, how to putt. All of these things are just super important for your game, and that's one of the main reasons why my handicap dropped so dramatically, is because I was able to go in there and learn how to, you know, learn how to chip and putt, learn how to read putts. You know, hazard or conditions where, you know, maybe you're in the rough, or again, bunker shots. Most people hate going in the bunkers. I enjoy it now because I know how to do it, and I get a good result when I'm in the bunker. Not that I try to go in the bunker, obviously, but when I'm in there, I'm not panicking. And so again, information on the short game, just the, you know, everything's in there. But for me, the short game is something that there's just not a lot of information out there that is, you know, is very helpful. So I love it. I love going in there and working on my short game, being able to find whatever it is I need, and it's been super helpful. What surprised me the most inside of Graves Golf Academy is, you know, when I send a video into coaches, just the knowledge these guys have. I mean, they're able to see things that I'm like, oh man, I didn't even notice that. You know, in my swing mechanics or my grip. You know, early on there was a lot of things I was working on, but you know, now that I've got it down pretty good, still making little tweaks. You know, we're always working for perfection. And again, if pros are using coaches, you know, I'm going to use them. So the coaching is just second to none. I mean, it's so helpful, and they tell you, you know, make sure you send videos in. That was very surprising to me. Is like, you know, they're super adamant about making sure that you're getting helped. Like, they don't want you to be a part of it if you're not going to use it. And you know, that was kind of odd to me. You know, they're not just trying to take my money. They really truly care and want me to get better. And they're, you know, sending your videos. They're not sending in enough videos. You know, are you practicing? And you know, just holding me accountable. And I just absolutely love that. It's awesome. So it's been about a year, I think maybe a little longer than a year, since I've, you know, been working with the single plane swing. Prior to, I, you know, may have broke 90 a few times. My handicap, if I had to have a handicap, it'd probably be, you know, somewhere around 20 maybe. My handicap's lowered to 7.1 as we speak. And I live in Pittsburgh, so it's not like I get to golf all year round. But again, I mean, it's just being able to learn every aspect of the swing. They're able to qualify the golf swing. You know, Todd knows, like he proves it through biomechanics. There's just so much knowledge and information on why the traditional golf swing is super hard to learn and why it doesn't work for most people, and why the single plane golf swing is simplified and will work for you if you just, you know, put what you're learning to use. Tim, with his short game knowledge, I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, it really is. Like, I've never seen so much information on the short game, and to be able to take that information, put it to work, and use it in my own game, and see that it actually does work. These guys are just geniuses. I mean, they really are. So, super blessed to be a part of this academy and have Tim and Todd Graves, you know, at the forefront of it. It's just they're just awesome people and super knowledgeable.
+35 years of me teaching me, or going to sources that good people, good instructors, but I could never get a connection from one part of the game to the other. There's nothing more frustrating than going to practice or being in the middle of a round with your buddies and things have just gone south and you got nowhere to go. With this, doesn't mean I'm going to shoot a great score the last 6 holes, but now at least I can step up to the 13th hole and I'm like, I got to hit positions again. You know, I got to do what my coaches have talked to me about. The amount of confidence you have because of the knowledge you have makes all the difference in the world. It's a plan. I think most people in the Gold program would agree with that. When you first join, I mean, you're new. You know, you're trying to watch videos and everything, but the Graves coaches kind of grab you by the scruff of the neck. They say, okay, what do you want from this? How much time do you have on a daily basis? How many days do you have each week? And then I work a full-time job. So I said, I think I can give you 30 to 40 minutes, 3 days a week. Hey, no problem. And within 2 days, I had a plan outlining me through the next 30 days, hit that milestone, shot me 30 more, and then hit 30 more. And at that point, you got enough knowledge that, not that you know everything and can teach yourself, but you've got enough knowledge to ask really good questions. And, you know, in my opinion, as a former coach, high school basketball coach, when my players knew enough to have a conversation back with me, we had achieved something special, rather than me just saying, do X, Y, and Z. You got it? And of course, heads nod. Well, they didn't get it. But now I know enough to ask guys like these guys back behind me. I know enough to ask good questions. That's huge. It's huge. I'm sending a video, you know, to the guys in Florida, the guys in Arizona, the guys here in Oklahoma City, and they are good people and they are nice people, but they are very honest people. And so, which is exactly what we need. And what I am showing on that video is not what I'm feeling. And guys like me need that. But what's really great too is I want to impress them. I want to send a video that's showing improvement. So I might, you know, I have enough knowledge now to evaluate my own video. So I might take one, evaluate it myself and say, I'm not sure I want them to see this one. So, but what that means is I go practice more. If you don't do it, it's like the guys say, you're just going to practice poorly and you're going to reinforce bad habits. So those videos are a must, and it makes all the difference in the world. When that email pops up, to me, I joked with a friend of mine in the Gold Facebook membership group. I said, man, that's like Christmas when a new video comes out. They do such a good job. Golf is a finite thing. There are not infinite things to learn, but they do a heck of a job of presenting this finite amount of information in an infinite amount of ways. I have a path now. I have a path. My path to become a good player was about this wide before I started. I mean, I could go anywhere. With all the video I've done, that path got to about right here. My goal coming into this week, having never been to school before, was to make that path like this. I have taken a ton of notes this week, but the most valuable notes I've taken are the ones with stars next to them when one of these guys walked up to me and said, hey Shane, take that thumb a quarter inch to the right. That's invaluable. You know, you can't get that by reading a book. I would recommend anybody watching this and let somebody look at you. This whole thing, the technical stuff, the teaching stuff, and the story. As far as Moe goes, the relationship he built with Todd and Tim, we're part of it now. I mean, we're doing what Moe did. I mean, I got goosebumps. I think that's pretty special.
We've brought in over 250,000 swings and millions of data points to create the most advanced driver face in the history of Callaway Golf.
What is happiness? Happiness is achievement. What's the father of achievement? Motivation. What's the mother? Encouragement. The fine golf swing is truly achievement. Man may lie, cheat, and steal for gain. These will never gain the golf swing. To gain the golf swing, man must work. It's work without toil. For those of us who know and love it, golf is truly happiness.
Hey, it's Todd Graves, and welcome to tonight's show. I'm so excited to be here with you. We're going to talk tonight about consistency. I know that's a very important topic for you as far as you becoming a better golfer. And look, everybody that I talk to when I teach them, and I've been teaching this, helping people learn an easier way and a more consistent way to swing a golf club and hit better golf shots and play better golf for over 30 years. And I've been helping thousands of people do this. And tonight I'm going to go through what I call the consistency formula, which I learned from Moe Norman, about how I can help you take that formula and become a better golfer. Now, one thing I want you to understand about tonight's show is that this may be a revolutionary and transformative way for you to look at the golf swing and what I'm going to teach you tonight. So pay attention to what I'm going to show you, because I know that if you pay attention and do what I tell you in tonight's program, I'm going to make you a better ball striker and give you the consistency you've always wanted and your ability to hit more fairways and more greens and obviously play better golf. So that's what we're going to go through tonight. One of the things you can expect from tonight, from me, is I'm going to define for you and give you total clarity on exactly what you need to do to become a better golfer. And you've probably never heard that before, but I'm going to give you exactly the formula that you need to become a better golfer. Now, I'll make a little prediction here. Many of you have probably taken golf lessons before. Some of you that I've talked to have been taking lessons from all types of professionals. I bet you've even probably watched plenty of YouTube videos about how to get better at golf. And I'm going to tell you right now that this is probably one of the problems with what's happening with people trying to get better, is they are watching too many YouTube videos, trying to find that quick tip. I'll even tell you that my YouTube channel, I have quite a few followers on my YouTube channel, is still not the best way for you to become a more consistent ball striker. Tonight I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do to finally get to the point where you can build a golf swing, have a consistent golf swing that'll help you play better golf. That's what tonight's all about. So I'm going to give you the consistency formula. But let's get right into it, and I want to start right here. There's two very important things you're going to need to become more consistent. One is a model. Right? You need a swing model. Now, why do you need a swing model? Well, the thing about a proven swing model is that it's based on a very important concept, and as you're here to learn the single plane swing model. This swing model helps you do one very important thing: achieve the most important moment of the swing for ball striking. What do you think that moment is, right? It's the ability to get to impact. So you need a model that simplifies impact. This is what you're trying to achieve. If you're going to become a more consistent ball striker, you've got to get to this moment in your golf swing. When you take a golf club and you get to this moment, which is impact, if you can become consistent at this moment, you can become a great ball striker. So my goal for you in tonight's program is to show you how exactly you become more consistent at the most important moment of the swing, impact. Now, how am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to do that by teaching you a golf swing, the single plane swing, that everything in that swing simplifies this. So everything I teach you in the golf swing simplifies impact. That's what the single plane swing is really all about, because we start and impact on the exact same plane. So that's what tonight's program is about helping you understand that there's a model involved, that model is designed to get you back to the most important moment of impact, all this to help you become more consistent hitting the ball long and straight. But there's something else we have to discuss to get you here. And everything that I'm going to teach you tonight, I learned from my mentor, Moe Norman, who's regarded as the greatest ball striker that's ever played the game. If you understand who Moe Norman was, the reason he was the greatest ball striker that's ever played, not only did Tiger Woods say that, and Vijay Singh and Ken Venturi and all these professionals had talked about how great Moe was at ball striking. Why was he such a great ball striker? Because he was able to get to impact in the most consistent, efficient way possible. It was easier on his body as well. So we're going to talk about how this swing is also easier on your body and saves your back. So we have a model that we're going to be talking about tonight. But there's also something else I want you to understand. Is if I'm going to teach you a model, and this is probably where you've always struggled in the past, I'm going to teach you a process to learn the model, right? So the process. So now we need a process. We got the model. And now I'm going to teach you a process. The process I'm going to teach you is really where I've had my success. The 30 years I've been teaching this golf swing and the success I've seen in all my students, it's because I have a particular process that we teach people to learn the perfect model of a golf swing. Let's go through that process right now. And this is what's going to help you the most if you understand this. The very first thing we have to do to teach you the single plane swing is teach you the address and grip. Address and grip. Let me go through that with you real quick. So, address and grip. Now notice that I didn't say grip and address, and you've probably heard this before where people say, well, learn the grip first. That's not how we teach the model here, and I'm going to tell you why. Because remember, everything I'm going to teach you in the single plane swing is to get the most important moment of impact. Wouldn't it make sense if I kind of start at impact and then build your address and your grip around your impact position, right? So everything, remember, tonight, this is going to kind of be a little bit revolutionary for you because we're not teaching you conventional ways of learning. We're teaching you how we process this, everything to help you get more consistent at impact. So address and grip. So look where I was at impact for just a second. So look at impact, right? See how I have tilt on my body? See how my lead arm is lined up? You notice how my trail arm is also lined up? So you're seeing that impact has some characteristics to it. Straight line here, look at the back of my hand to the target. Look at my trail hand underneath the golf club. So a perfect impact position, there's characteristics to that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you an address and grip position that has those same characteristics. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tilt you. Then I'm going to get your lead arm into a position that lines up with the club just like I am at impact. And notice the tilt and the lead arm align. Notice the back of the hand is to the target. And now I bring my trail hand in. And notice now that I'm very similar to where I am at impact at my address. So the very first thing you have to learn is address and grip. And by the way, that position there puts me on to, look at that alignment with my trail arm and the club. There's the single plane line. That's exactly the same plane I'm going to be at impact. So you'll notice the very first part of this process is building the foundation with your single plane address and grip. Common sense, right? And everything tonight I go through is going to seem like a lot of common sense. So there's part one of the process, address and grip. Now, from a great address and grip position, we have positions. The positions of the swing, right? Now, why do we break it down into positions? Remember, every single movement and position that I'm putting you in is going to help us get to the moment of impact. So I'm going to put impact back up here. And by the way, you see Moe over here on this photo, right there past impact. This is why it's such a highlight to learn how to get the club to impact. So everything I teach you, whether it's the address and grip or the positions of the swing, everything I teach you is to help you get to this ideal moment of impact where we strike the golf ball. So we got positions. Now, there is a number of positions I'd want you to learn. We got position 1 through 6. So 6 positions. Let me go through these positions and explain that positions help us move the club correctly. The club then moves to impact. So everything I teach you as far as positions is to move the club in an ideal way. We call it the single plane. This is where you start seeing the plane of the golf club. So I'm going to go through the positions and watch how I do this here. So I'm going to go to that address and grip. And now I'm going to go to position 1, and then position 2, and then I'm going to transition, stabilize, position 3, position 4, there's impact, extension position 5, and then position 6, right? So those are the 6 positions that I would teach you. Now here's the question I have as we discuss these positions, because this is where this tonight's show can become beneficial for you. I just did those positions in slow motion. I did them kind of position by position. You saw me kind of go through those. I would want you, if I'm teaching you in person, I would want you to be able to achieve all those positions just like I did them there. position 1, position 2, position 3, position 4. I'd want you to be able to do that first, right? Hit the positions, because if you can't hit those positions in slow motion, you will not be able to hit those positions in fast motion, right? So we have to be able to accomplish this position by position to make sure you can hit the proper positions before you start adding speed to it. Let me do this one more time and show you the positions. I'm going to do it down the line this time because I want you to see the single plane as I do this. So now you see the address and grip in the single plane, right? And now you see position 1. Now watch as I go to position 2. Look at the club. See the plane of the golf club? It's matching that same plane that I started. So you're seeing the single plane. Very important. This would be steep. This would be flat. So watch the plane of the club. Now, because I'm in a good position 1, it's easy to go onto plane. Goes to the top. Starts coming down. Look at the plane of the club. Impact on the plane. Position, look at this, position 6. The club is back to the plane. See that? So you're seeing that because I have the correct positions, I'm getting the ideal club movement, which is what I'm able to get the club to impact now. This is why positions become so important. I must hit the ideal positions in order to get to impact, that club to have the proper path and proper face angles. All right, so, and what I'm doing is, I'm teaching you this process. This is the exact process that I teach everybody that I teach, whether you're a beginner learning the swing for the first time, if you're a tour player that comes to me wanting to learn the swing, I run you through this exact process. So watch, we'll go to the next step here. Now, remember, if you can hit the positions in slow motion, now we can start sequencing these positions. Sequence. Sequence. Now, here's what's interesting about sequence. Once you're able to have the proper address and grip, and once you're able to hit the positions, now we can start putting it into motion, right? Putting them together. Start putting these pieces together, all the pieces. Now, there's something very important that's happening here. And this is where you're probably going to say you've never heard this before. This will be something new you maybe heard, but I'm going to apply what I call the braking system. Or here's the concept here. If I'm going to start accelerating your body and adding speed, because you want speed. If you want the club moving to impact correctly, you want to hit the ball long distances as well. So I want to add sequence, and I want to start getting speed into your golf swing. Whenever you move something in the golf swing, if I'm going to have you make a swing, you're obviously moving, but you also have to be able to stop certain parts of the body as other parts are moving, because we have to sequence the golf swing. So certain parts of the body are stopping as other parts are moving. I call this the braking system. In other words, you have parts of your body that are putting on the brakes as you're accelerating. Let me demonstrate this. So, if I'm going to have you start adding speed to your proper positions, what you'll see is, notice that I'm from here at my address and grip position. If I go to the backswing, notice my trail leg. See how it's stable? Nice and stable, right? It's not moving around. It's stable. And then when I change directions, this side stabilizes as I accelerate. So when I make a motion in a swing, one part is stopping, this is stopping as this part is going. That's the backswing. When I stabilize this part stops, and then this part goes. Same thing's happening with the upper body. I'm going to take the club to position 1. Notice how my torso is staying relatively still as my arms and shoulders keep going. See that? So you have certain parts are stopping as other parts move. Again, this stops. Now everything's moving. Now that stops, and then watch this. This is stopping as this moves. So my point to this is you must learn how to stop certain parts of the body correctly so the other parts can accelerate. This is how we sequence the golf swing. So that's the next thing that I would teach you is I taught you address and grip, foundation. I've taught you, you've learned the positions of the swing. I've taught you how to take those positions and put those positions into motion. And the way we did that was we applied the brakes. We stopped certain parts so other parts can keep moving. And then the next part of this is speed. Because now, of course you want speed, because you want to hit the ball long distances. So you can now apply speed. But I want to show you something. So you see my formula here, right? This is the consistency formula because you have a model, single plane swing, It's the ideal model to get to impact. You know how they process. Address and grip, positions of the swing. We're going to sequence you with the braking system, and we're going to add speed, okay? So this should make a lot of sense to you. You're like, wow, this is a great formula. But I want to show you something that's really interesting. This is, most people learn the golf swing, and you may be one of them, and I was one of them at one time too. You learn the golf swing backwards, because this direction. Most people, what they do is when you learn to play golf, just like when I learned, I grabbed a club and I ran out to the range, I started swinging away. I tried to hit that thing on the ground, I started swinging. And what you're doing is you were trying to add speed to your body, but you didn't know how to sequence yourself. You were probably no close to any positions. You certainly didn't know how to address and grip the club. So most people, 99% of people that play golf, learn it completely backwards. And I know that you're one of those people too, because I know that I was one of them, and I've taught thousands of people, and everyone has learned golf backwards. What I'm asking you to understand about tonight's show is that we're reversing this process. I'm reverse engineering your ability to become a golfer. And I'm doing that by saying, hey, we're not going to learn the game backwards anymore. We're going to learn it in the absolute perfect order to learn golf swing. Now, what do I mean by perfect order? Well, look at this formula. Address and grip, positions of the swing, sequence of speed. Think about something else you would possibly learn. And I used learning how to dance as an example. If I was going to teach you how to dance, right? So let's say I was going to teach the waltz or whatever kind of dance it was. What's the first thing you would do? You wouldn't run out and start dancing. You wouldn't just start dancing because you don't know anything. What you would do is like, how do you position your body, right? Where do I go? Where's step one? Where's step two? Where's step three, right? And then you would put it in step one, step two, three, and then you could add speed to it. So if you're going to learn how to dance, you do it in this exact order, would you not? How about learning to play the piano? So if I was going to teach you to play the piano, you got to know where to place your hands. You got to know where the notes are. Then you got to know where to move your hands to play the notes and the chords. Then when you put that in sequence, you start playing music, and speed, you start hearing the music in whatever song you're playing. Everything learned that you want to learn correctly is learned through this exact process, but for some reason, golf is not, because you went out there and you started trying to play music, but you didn't know the notes yet. So this is the process I'm teaching you tonight, and I want you to seriously consider what I'm presenting you tonight as a way of rebuilding your ability to swing a golf club. You can transform yourself if you use my process. If you go back and try to quick fix yourself, it's just never going to work. I've never seen quick fixes work, and I'm in a quick fix world. The whole golf world is a quick fix world, right? You're on YouTube. I slice the golf ball. Let's try not to slice it. You're trying to fix it, and then you get a hook, and then you're trying to stop the hook, and then you're hitting it low, and you're hitting it high. There's one solution to every one of your swing problems right now, and it's right here in this formula. Because watch this. Look at my formula. Every one of my players that, whether he's a tour player or a beginner that has a swing problem, I find it right in my formula. So I see their swing, I say, how's their address and grip? Okay, if that's good, check. Great. Positions. How are they? Oh, position 2. Great, we found the problem. It's in position 2. I can solve every one of your swing problems and your ball striking problems right here in my formula. But now we got to do something. You can't just do it once, right? You have repetition. So we have to have repetitions. This is a very important part, I call it reps, of building your ability to do things consistently, because we got to have a consistency formula, right? So you have an exact way of building a swing. You have an exact way of ever fixing your swing. There's no fix here. It's just a formula of finding out where you need to spend the time to do reps to improve. So this is a very important part of consistency, is just doing it over and over again. Now, there's one more factor here that I want you to understand. It's not just about reps, right, of doing it correctly. It's about doing it correctly. So and this is I think if I had to answer, people saying, okay, Todd, I practice incorrectly. How do I stop from practicing correctly? So we have to do this. We have to get correct practice. And that's a big part of it, because you don't want to be out there doing reps incorrectly. So I have a solution for that. And this is a very important part of learning, is making sure you practice correctly. There's 3 basic training aids that I have. 3 basic training aids. One is, I'll just throw it up here, is the alignment ball position trainer. So when you're doing the correct reps on your positions, you got to make sure the ball position is in the correct place and your foot position is incorrect, because you want to build an ideal foundation when you start. So this helps you build your address and grip position to get your feet right, get your ball position correct. Let me grab a golf ball and I'll show you where this sets up. So you see I got a ball position lined up, I have my feet correctly lined up, and now I have the ball in the correct place. So it's helping with my address and grip, and it's going to help me with my positions as well. The second aid that I have that I use consistently is the Feeling Greatness Training Club. This has a consistent grip on it, so it has a form spot for my lead hand position that helps me get my address correct with my lead arm. And then I bring my trail hand in, it's formed for my trail hand, and it allows this club to be properly lined up with the lead arm. There's a marking on here that helps you do that. So the Feeling Greatness Training Club also allows me to get the proper distance from the ball. So I have this club giving me feedback. That's what we're talking about. Correct practice is through feedback to get the setup correctly. So now I have the alignment ball position trainer and the Feeling Great Training Club. So this is building my foundation of address and grip perfectly, right? So very important that we get feedback on that. Now, I got to work on the positions of my swing, right? So now we have the single plane trainer. Single plane trainer obviously is exactly what it's titled. It's teaching me the address and grip, and it's helping me feel the positions, position 1, position 2, transition, position 3, impact 4. So it's teaching me how to get back through all the positions to get impact. I'm going to do that one more time because I want you to see that. Notice how from address, see how it's going up my lead side, see that relationship? Address, position 1, see that same relationship to my lead side? Position 2, there's that leverage angle at the top. Transition, position 3, there's that leverage being maintained for power. And then watch impact to my lead side. And look, I just got the impact. So this thing is teaching me swing plane and getting back to impact, right? So single plane trainer is all about getting you back to impact on a single plane. So those are the main 3 training aids that I consistently use to train my movements and feelings. Now notice, I'm going to go back through this one more time. If I'm going to help you, truly transform you and help you become a more consistent ball striker, I've got to do it through this formula. I have to do it. I'm going to review the formula. I have to give you the single plane model, right? So we have to start right here. Single plane model. We have to start there because I've got to give you the most consistent, easiest golf swing to get back to where? Impact. Right? So just follow me on this because I'm not just teaching you any swing. I've got to give you a simple swing to get us to impact, because impact is where you're going to get consistency. If I can get you to impact over and over and over again consistently, I can make you a great ball striker. Now, from the single plane swing, I teach you a foundation, right? The foundation is the address and grip. I've got to make sure not only do I teach you the foundation correct, but you got to make sure you do it correctly with correct practice, right? So I've got to make sure when you are practicing, you're doing it correctly. That's why I recommend having some training aids that help you with that. There's other ways to do it, but I recommend feedback devices to help you make sure you're practicing correctly. Same thing with positions. The next thing, from that address position, I'm teaching you the positions of the swing. I'm going to teach you 6 positions. Because if you can't hit those positions in slow motion, I know I can't sequence them in fast motion swing. Then, I'm going to teach you how to sequence those positions. So sequencing means I got to apply the brakes, right? In other words, I've got to teach you how to stop certain parts as other parts are moving. This is like learning how to dance. I've got to teach you how to move one spot and move another part of your body. But you have to have correct positions. Now I'm going to help you sequence with the braking system, and then I can actually put it all together into a speed-producing golf swing. This is your answer to finally not quick fixing your golf swing, to finally building a golf swing that's going to last you a lifetime. And because it's the single plane swing, it's better on your back, it's easier on your body. Obviously, it's going to be more consistent. That's the goal, to get you back to impact. This is exactly what your answer is. And this is what I've been doing for years, teaching thousands of golfers around the world this formula. It doesn't matter what level they are. Tour players, I've been teaching them this formula. I had a tour player come in a few weeks ago. Guess what? Looked at his address and grip first. Then I checked out his positions. Found a couple things in his grip position, adjusted that. Then, because the address and grip affect positions, so I worked through that. And we spent 2 days working on his lead hand address and grip position. And then we helped him then produce more consistent ball striking, getting to impact. So here's what I did. I've been teaching this for so long, and about 6 months ago, my team came to me and they said, Todd, what I want you to do is I want you to put together a program. First they said this, my team said, Todd, how long is it going to take for somebody to learn this? Because that's a question you ask me a lot, is how long does it take to learn this swing, right? And here's the thing, this is a formula. So the question becomes is how long does it take to put somebody through the formula, right? So they said, Todd, how long does it take to learn this? I said, well, in 30 days, I can put together a program that can effectively and efficiently, if the student's willing to go through the 30-day process, teach them how to create a consistent single-plane golf swing and resolve all their swing issues, but I need 30 days. So I put together a program called Single Plane 30. And in the last 4 months, we've had 500 or 600 people go through the program, and with raving reviews. They've loved this program, because you're going to see in this program why it's so effective, because it has accountability built into it. It's going to teach you exactly what to do. So let's go through my 30-day training program. I want to explain exactly why people are having so much success with it. In the 30-day program, obviously the goal is to transform your ball striking and become a more consistent ball striker in 30 days. That's the goal of the program. So I'm asking you to invest 30 days in this, right? 30 days of your life into the program. And let's talk about week one. I've broken this down into 4 weeks. Week one, obviously, is right here, building the address and grip position, right? That is so important to this that's what week one programming is all about. So in the week one, we're going to teach you, and we get a little bit into the initial positions and movements of the swing, but we got to start with an address and grip. In week two, this is where we start teaching you the braking system, right? So not only are we learning all the positions in week two, but now I'm teaching you how the body positions itself, stops in certain parts as other parts continue. So now we're starting to learn how to use the body correctly, as like learning to dance. We're learning the positions and where to step and put the body. That's week two. Week three, we start putting you into sequence, start blending this. So week three, blend those positions in the braking system you've learned. I start putting that into week three. So now you're learning how to do this in a sequential fashion, putting those positions together. And then week four, we add speed, make this dynamic. We start removing some of those detailed positions and start putting it all into motion. You've learned the address and grip. You've learned the positions of the swing. You now know how to use the brakes of the body so you can stop it, and now we can start sequencing it into speed producing. Hey, I know this is common sense, because this is the way you're like, Todd, this is how I learned how to dance. This is how I learned everything I've ever learned in my life. That's exactly what we call this progressive training. It's a progressive training formula. I'm progressing you from here to here to here. I'm progressing you in the exact way that you learn anything in my progressive program. Here's a very important part of the program too, is to keep you daily accountability. So how am I going to do that, right? Now this is by the way, the things you learn in this program are pretty fundamental, because you're going to learn the basic fundamentals of the stuff I've been teaching for years. But if you don't do it, if you don't do these things, you're never going to learn them, right? So the question that my team gave me is, Todd, how are you going to get people to do this? I said, I want to put together a daily training module. In other words, every single day, I'm going to give you something to do. It doesn't take an hour. And you can do everything of this, you can do it at home. You don't even have to go to the golf course to do this. Every bit of this training can be done. Basically, if you got a little space in your house, in your garage, in your living room, you can do this while you're watching TV. Some of these modules you can do right at home. I give you daily. So in other words, you wake up and that day, you get my daily training module. It's going to tell you exactly what to do that day for training. Here's an example of the module here. You can see week one, day one. This is the first module. There's a video with that, and it's going to show you exactly what I want you to do that day. I have you doing 5 sets of 20 reps, and you learn in field position 0. So it gives you the goal of that day, right? So I'm taking the thinking process out, and I'm saying, hey, if you'll just follow my training modules every single day, you're going to get them every single day for 30 days, you can learn this. Now, not only are you getting daily training modules, I want to also help support the program. So I have the coaches supporting you through this. So once a week, we do a weekly Zoom call, and it's live with the coaches, and you hop on with us, and we talk about what's going on for your training. So if you have questions about what's going on for your week, maybe a module thing, you have a question about your swing, we're there to answer it throughout the week. So not only are we giving you training modules every single day, I'm also able to support that with coaching Zoom calls. And by the way, working with coaches, that's the most expensive part of most people's training is, how much lessons can cost, where our coaches are there to support you every single week. And here's a quick example too of some support. Inside of our Single Plane Academy, you're going to have a module where you can go post things, like post a picture of your swing or ask a question, and you'll see that the coaches are there to help you throughout the week. So let's say you train one day and you have a question, you go into the portal, you put your question in, the coach is there to answer it. So we have every day you'll be supported. Okay, so let's talk about everything that's inside the program in Single Plane 30. The first thing you're getting is that 30-day progressive training program. That's exactly the program that's going to walk you through this exact formula I just talked about to get you more consistency, talking about how we start with address and grip, the position of the swing, getting into sequence, adding a braking system, and speed. That's a 30-day program. It's a $649 value. You're going to get that 30-day progressive training program. And one of the most important things is a daily accountability. $349 are those daily modules you're going to get. Each day, you're going to get a module to train. That's going to keep you accountable to get this progressive training every single day for 30 days. So that's a $349 value. And then you're getting live coaching support. That means every single week, you can work with the coaches on the stuff you've been doing progressively throughout the week to help you make sure you're getting this correct throughout your training program. That entire program is a $1997, almost a $2,000 value. Your price is only $297. But here's the thing about the Single Plane 30 program is it's designed to transform your ball striking and make you more consistent. It's designed to help you become a better ball striker. But I also want you to be able to take it to the course, because one of the most important things you're going to do is take this new learned swing to the course. So I want to give you another very important program we have at Graves Golf, which is how to take the single plane swing to the course in my Take It to the Course Masterclass. This helps you take that new ball striking skill and perform the best on the course. It's a $497 program, but I'm going to give it to you tonight. Here's what's in the course. It has pre-round routine, right, and a pre-shot routine. Two of the very important routines is what you do before the round and then what you do before you execute a shot, pre-shot routine. I'm also going to teach you my in-between shot routine. There's something you can be doing in between shots and a post-round routine. There's 4 basic principal routines. Those routines put together help you manage the golf course and play the best. All right, so now you have my Take It to the Course Masterclass. Now let's review everything that's put into this package for you. You have the 30-day progressive training program, right, a $649 value. You got the daily accountability, $349 value. You got the live coaching support. That's going to help you basically progress through the program and make sure you're doing everything correctly. That's a $999 value. You got my Take It to the Course class now, because once you go through the training, I want you to go to the course and play your best. That's a $497 value. So you got basically $2,500 worth of value here, again, for only $297. If you're interested in transforming your game, go to gravesgolf.com/enroll in the Single Plane 30 program and get you started in all of this stuff to help you progress your game to the next level. But hang on a second. I got a couple of very important parts of this thing that I want to offer for you as well. I got another bonus for you, because I really want to appreciate all of you that showed up tonight, and I want to reward that because you're here and you're watching the program. So I want to give you a personalized blueprint call. One of the things we do at Graves Golf is we offer success calls. We want to get on the phone with you in person and strategize, design your improvement. We do that by defining your goals. We lay out your goals, and everybody has different goals in their game. Some people want to shoot lower, beat their buddies, lower their handicap. Some people want to win their club championship. We need to define your goals and when you want to perform the best. We want to organize a strategy for you. There's a strategy behind success. We want to strategize that for you. And then we build your step-by-step plan. We're willing to give that to you. This is a very expensive thing we do at Graves Golf. I want to give you a blueprint call as part of this program tonight. That's a $249 value as well. And then there's something else I want to give you, because you saw me use these training aids, because it's so important to practice correctly as you're training. I want to give you 50% discount on these training aids, right? So I'm going to give you $171 basically to go purchase the training aids. So I'm going to give you the Feeling Everyday Training Club, the alignment ball position trainer, and the single plane position trainer. That's a $171 value. So I'm stacking stuff on for you guys. I'm so excited about you getting involved with Single Plane 30. And for those of you, for the first 50 tonight, I'm going to give you one more thing. If you're really interested about this and joining the Single Plane 30 and you do it tonight, the first 50 of you, I'm going to give you another $150 credit, a gift card for the training aids. So basically, I've given you $171, $150. You're basically getting the training aids. The first 50 of you will get the training aids at no cost based on that program. So let's look at everything together, right? Let's look at here's the entire program. You got the Single Plane 30. That's a $2,000 value. You got to take it to the course master class, $497 value. You got a personalized success call, another $249. I'm giving you 50% off the training aids, $171, and the training aid gift certificate, $150. Total value over $3,000. Guess what? For 50 of you tonight, it's only $297. So do not waste time tonight. Hop on there, get all these things for only $297 if you join tonight. And listen, we've had over 500 people in the last 3 months go through the program, but I want you to hear what they're saying about Single Plane 30.
I think you've done a great job of being able to cover, all the kind of stuff that we need to do, especially in a winter program. It's the basics. And I think the program's terrific. Scott's done a really good job of putting together the right kind of foundation that we need for, getting this stuff embedded in us. Along with that, just a quick follow-up is that I expected it was going to get to be redundant, get a little monotonous and that sort of thing. It hadn't been at all. I mean, it's especially videoing it, looking at that, doing comparisons, the side-by-side that, and it's endless. And as far as being able to see different parts of the body and the biomechanics of everything, it's fascinating.
But I'm just shocked at how much this Single Plane 30 program has accelerated my understanding. It's an absolutely perfect way to get somebody into the fundamentals of single plane swing. Number one, thank you. To stay in the moment, stay in the day. Just do what you're supposed to do today, and tomorrow will tell you what to do tomorrow. And you're going to unlock it in a way that helps us build this as a non-thinking process, that we don't get too analytical about it. You just learn the motion and then turn your brain off and let it happen. And number two, congratulations on just an excellent program.
I'm really enjoying the program. So that answered my question, is why sometimes when I was moving ahead and trying to get to impact, I could still rotate my lead wrist too far. That key right there has made everything else so that I can be more like your model, which is, I really enjoy it. I think it's a great program. And I just want to again say, I'm making a complete life-changing alter shift here. And so I want to appreciate you and your program.
Let's go through this one more time, because the value I want to give to you tonight, and this is the important value of this, is whether you join Single Plane 30 or not, I want you to rethink the way that you've learned to play golf. And if you will rethink it with me, and if you follow my formula here, I'll go through it, I can transform the way you play golf. But you're going to have to rethink the way you've done it. And this is how you do it. You must have a model. The single plane model is the easiest way to get the club to do what? Get to impact. That position you see Moe here on the screen, we want to help you get to this most important moment of impact. We're doing it through a simple single plane model, the most efficient way to strike a golf ball. How do we do that? How do we train you in a perfect model? Well, we have to start with the foundation, address and grip. So I teach you a address and grip position. I went through this a little bit. I teach you an address and grip that helps you get to that most important moment of impact. So we got to start with this address and grip foundation. That's the very first thing. And by the way, again, this is the formula I teach everybody that I've had success with, whether they're a beginner, whether they're intermediate, whether they're a tour player. This is the formula I've always taught. This is where I've had all my success. Address and grip. Now, the next thing I would teach you that you need to learn are the positions of the swing. So you need to learn how to move from throughout the positions of the swing, which include address and grip, position 1, position 2, stable, position 3, impact 4, extension 5, position 6. So those are all the positions of the swing. If you can't do those like I just did in slow motion, position by position, you'll not be able to go to the next step, which is sequence, right? I want you to sequence these positions. The only way you can sequence is you have to learn what I call the breaks of the golf swing. You have to learn what part and how to stop certain parts of your body so other parts can keep moving. So that's how I sequence you. But you must hit the positions first, learn the sequence and how to stop certain parts, what I call the braking system, and then guess what? You can add speed to it. This is a progressive training formula. You need to start thinking through how you progressively train correctly. And then you've got to do this with some repetition, and you've got to make sure you practice correctly. This is my formula. This is the blueprint. This is how you're going to become a better ball striker. This will get you out of the quick fixes. This will get you out of the mode of trying to find something. This will save you for the rest of your life. This is the way you need to figure out how you're going to start progressing your training to become a better ball striker. And not only is this the formula that you can use to build the swing, this is also how I solve every swing problem, because you just start right here. Let's say you're not hitting the ball very well. Is it your address and grip? Okay, nope, that's okay. So you check that off. Nope, this is good. Check. Okay, let's check the positions. How's position 1? Okay, position 2. Not good at position 2. Okay, we got a problem at position 2. So we can start finding exactly where your problems are. So this is the formula for not only building a perfect swing, to solving every one of your swing problems for the rest of your life. It's right here in this formula. So let's go through the package final time. And here's the deal. You can enroll at gravesgolf.com/enroll. I'm giving you the single plane 30 program and all of the bonuses, right? You have my Take It to the Course class. You have the success call, which we're going to help you blueprint out a plan and a strategy, which I think is very important that you strategize your success out. We're giving you the $171 off the training aids. Plus, I'm giving, for the first 50, I'm giving $150. So you get another coupon for that. All this for $297. It's gravesgolf.com/enroll. Join Single Plane 30.